All right, so this is a sad story, a heartbreaking one. Something happened to this sister of ours. But then sometimes it baffles me. I used to think, why would somebody or people travel to a strange land, a foreign country, and wouldn't first of all find out about their belief system, their cultural practices, their way of life. Yes, I remember before ever I joined my husband in Saudi Arabia, or ever before we took that decision, the name Saudi Arabia alone got me scared because of their belief system, their way of life. I had to find out a lot about that country before ever I joined my husband in Saudi Arabia. So before ever you move to a foreign country, it is very imperative you find out about their way of life, culture. Now, this sister of ours moved to the UK barely 6 months. They said it was in June. And what really happened? She is working in a residential home. And in this very country, you might have received a letter in the post in your house requesting you to register with end of life, burial, funeral, to plan when you want to die, something like that. People here, then they do more. It's not an issue here. They don't want to bother their loved ones when they passed. I remember one of these days, that was around 3 to 4 months ago. Yeah, one of our family friends, a British lady, she walked into our house to let us know that the dad is in the hospital, and she has gone to pay for, what is it called? She has gone to pay for mortuary and all them stuff, caskets, that the dad already said he would like to be buried somewhere. This man never died. The man still in hospital. So if you have worked in a care home, this is what happens. A lot of them, if you have read their, what is it called, their case files, you would see that a lot of them have already made a plan. I mean, they have already made plans of where they would like to be buried, the church where they would be taken to for their last service, how many people. They make all these arrangements in time, they pay for it. It's not like us, that even as at somebody 100 years, 120, will still be casting and praying over death. Even as at 80 years, somebody is praying and casting over death. Whereas the same Bible we believe, we profess, says at least 70 years you have lived a long life. But nobody wants to die at 70 for our side. Even me, I don't want to die at 70. So basically, this young lady, it's a sad story though. Yes. So there is this lady in the house who is already undergoing the end of life section. End of life nurses or the personnel are seeing this lady, talking to the lady about end of life and blah blah blah. So this is our sister from Nigeria, born again, the way we are, went and started preaching to this woman, telling her that she will not die, nothing will happen to you, you will live to see your children, the children, next generation. That kind of prayer, the way we do. Guys, I am a Christian. I'm not against the preachings of Jesus Christ. No, I profess it. Like I always said, I am a baptized Christian. But everything can limits. Everything, understand where you are, their belief system before you talk, and before you approach somebody, know whether the person believes in God or not, whether the person believes in anything. Because here, don't be surprised, some people don't believe in anything. Yes, I've approached somebody those years I was working in charity shop. The person judged them and said, you don't believe in anything. Baffled. I said, okay, look at this universe. Do you think that they came to be on their own? The person outrightly told me, anyway, there could be a supernatural force behind the creation, but he don't believe in God, he don't believe in Satan, he don't believe in anything. But do you blame them? But honestly, looking around, you don't blame them, because everything is perfectly put together for them. Yes, once you're 18, you get certain amount of money, government gives you house. Why do you want the person to be praying? You go to the hospital, you get treatment for free. If you want a house, your grandparents or your parents could ever support money, buy you a mortgage house. Oh, but wait till they pray for one, So sometimes you don't really blame them, because this is the way it is in their own country, not like ours where we suffer head. So this our sister kept preaching to this lady who is already undergoing end of life. And the person was just listening to her. You know the way they are. They will give you audience, And by the time she finishes, Piam and left. This lady in the care home, the family, the loved one came to visit. And she downloaded everything our Niger sister preached to her. Do you know what she said? The line that made them to take up the case. She said our Niger sister was giving her a false hope. False hope. They captured that line, write them down. False hope that she will live again, blah, blah, blah. She will not die. You will not die. You will live to see your children's children. That is not your portion. Reject it and cast it. Piam. So the next day she came to work because the family of this lady in a care home already reported to the manager. They took up the case. So the manager summoned her to find out what really happened. She, being a Christian, she was honest. Yeah, verbatim. She told everything that transpired between her and the residents. Yeah, that she was praying for her, giving her hope, blah, blah, blah. That means you did not read the ethics of your work. Yes, before you start working in this country as a carer, support worker, a nurse, a doctor, you undergo certain trainings, induction. Like a carer, you have to do the 15 care standard. That is what it's called. Safeguarding, information privacy, confidentiality, a whole lot of them. Fire service, fire safety, boom. Most of them we don't do these things. We don't read through. What we do is to go on Google, then grab the answer and put and pass. Despite the stuff being internet based, whatever training you undergo in this very country, whatever that is stipulated is absolutely truth and nothing but the truth. If you make a mistake to breach any of this, they hold you by that. Yes. So this was how they took up the case. Days passed. They called this lady and served her with a termination letter. You hereby fired, because they sponsored her all the way from Nigeria to come work here as a carer. Her COS was cancelled, and she had just 60 days, which is 2 months, to find another job, or else she leaves the UK. You can imagine the situation. Because you fail to understand when to say words to whom, because you fail to understand when to say what you are to say. You fail to study the environment where you are. When I was working as a charity worker then, I was working with a young man, 21-year-old. We are currently friends on Facebook. This young man asked me about my perception about homosexuality. I was straight to him. I said, in my country, we don't talk about that. It's either you are a man or you are a woman. He was like, Anyway, that he's either of them, that he has a man thing, he has a woman thing, he can do both man and woman. I say, good for you. We are currently still friends on Facebook. This happened about 12 years ago. We are still friends here in England. Now, even in the same church where you attend in this country, you have to be very careful, because not everybody in the church is actually straight. You don't understand me. I had a friend in the past, my flatmate, when I was a student here, Mimi by name. She could be watching this video. She's a Yoruba lady. One of the days, one of her friends, Onyocha Oyibo, a man for that matter, a young man, came to Mimi to say, please advise me. This is a man that the boyfriend, oh, Jesus Christ, is behaving somehow. This, I don't know how to describe this. This friend of Mimi that is seeking for advice he was also in the choir then. You can imagine. He was also in the choir in church, Pentecostal church. Pentecostal church in Nigeria is regarded as a holies of holies. Catholic and Anglican, they are not holies. Yes, this is the truth. It is bitter, but let me tell the truth here. Yes. So, but the same Pentecost inside England here, the same church, that there where this young man they go, and he's seeing another man, a man seeing another man, and was asking our sister to advise him on how to make up with the man where in the sea. This our sister made me run upstairs to say, Chichi, come and hear. Which advice where she won't give to this guy now? I said, me, I know here. You see this kind of question one of they ask, man to man, how they go do? Hey, I block my ear. I know here. Holy Ghost fire. Made me run downstairs. I don't know. But finally, those guys, they married. They moved to a different city. 2 guys. They were born again Christians. Are you getting me? So before you open your mouth and condemn anybody, say anything, understand the person's belief system. In this country, this is a multicultural society. Everybody is welcomed. Even if you wake up and say that you believe in trees, that you believe in flies, that you want to marry this my earpod, you are legally allowed to marry earpod. Yes, so before you start condemning or preaching or giving hope, study your background, study the environment. I mean, officially know the ethics of the job you are doing, the work ethics. There are limits to what you say to your work colleagues, what you open up to talk about. Hey, who carry dog enter here? Fear don't catch me. So this is it. It's a pity though. I wonder what she's gonna say, what she's gonna do, how she's gonna cope with this. Yes, because for her to find an alternative job within 60 days, it's a whole lot, because who knows what they have written in her termination letter. And that notwithstanding, she would be needing a reference if she wants another job in the UK. And this reference will be coming from where? From that job where she was fired. Guess what they're gonna write for her? I fought for racism in my previous workplace. Do you know how long it took me to find a job? I shared the story on my channel. It wasn't my fault in any way, but it took me ages. I was 5 and 6 with my manager. Every time I found a job, I would write her to write a reference. She would write me back, oh, Chi, we've sent out your reference. And all these jobs, about 3 or 4 jobs, I've already passed the interview. They will give me hope that I will start the next week. But guess what? By the time they receive that reference, pim, Stephanie, they won't call me again, or they will tell me, sorry, unfortunately, we cannot employ you now. Who knows? Do you know the content of that reference? Possibly it has something to do with racism. Only God knows how my manager, how she go channel the thing, but she laughs and smiles with me. And I met so many of my colleagues that left. They said she never gave them any reference. So how much more me that took up a fight against racism? I share the story if you want to see that. What do you think she would write for me? So, but I am lucky that now the job I'm doing, I was not asked for any reference, and it is official. I pay my tax, I pay my NI, and I am comfortable. You see how God works. I found a job that doesn't need, the person did not ask me for a reference. After all, 1 whole year, it took me 1 year again to get back to job. Yes, I was in Manchester on holiday. I did an interview. The man promised me, you are starting, is a teaching assistant, you are starting the next week. How soon do you want to start? I said, Aspa. He said, okay, you're going to be starting next week and blah, blah, blah. We need your reference. Piam, immediately that reference came, the job disappeared. I found a job in an autistic school, everything, interview, perfect, the reference point, everything. So this is how it is. Once you get bad comma, this man, hold this your doggo, I fear doggo. Hey, Jesus have mercy on me. The dog is coming towards me. So this is basically how it is. Understand the environment, understand the ethics of your workplace, and keep to it. Know when to open your mouth, know what you are saying, to whom you are saying it. People that laugh with you, they will laugh finish and go back and raise instigating issues against you. So you have to be very cautious. Yes, it's quite a pity though, but this is just to tell others in case you are in this category of, I don't know, carrying church in your head, in your mouth. Not in this country. You can do that in Nigeria, where Christianity and Islamic religion is paramount. And even though there are paganism is also practiced, but these two religions are common. But here, every damn thing, please, before you talk, look well. Yes, instead of you making mistake of talking rubbish, getting yourself into trouble, just hold it. Don't say it. It's better off. You are safer, or you are safe, or you both not saying it than saying it and getting into trouble. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate your time. Bye for now.